Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Bryce from BS Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at my entire PS3 collection. I have a little over 75 plus games for the system that I've been collecting for quite a while. So let's go ahead and jump right into this because this might take a minute going through these. Go through them A through Z, and then I'll let you guys know if I've played some of these, haven't played them, my thoughts on them when I have, the ones that I have played. So yeah, guys, this is going to be a fun one. Leave me some comments down below what you guys think of these. Let's get started. Okay, we're getting this party started with the A's. So first up, we have Aliens versus Predator. I did play this one when it first came out years and years ago. Absolutely fun game. You can play as either the Aliens, Predators, or the Marines. That's a pretty cool thing there. I don't think there's really been a good Aliens versus Predator game since then. Next up, we have Army of Two. Absolutely enjoyed this when it first came out. I actually played this co-op with my dad. I'm not usually a big co-op person, but I absolutely enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun. I want to revisit it again with somebody one of these days. Next up, we have Army of Two, the 40th Day. Once again, I also played co-op with my dad with that one. A lot of fun. I need to revisit it again. I wish they would actually make a new one. That'd be pretty great to see that on PS4, PS5 come out. I think a lot of people would enjoy it, especially the newer generation who's missed out on this. Next up, we have Army of Two, Devil's Cartel. Again, played this with my dad too. A lot of fun. It's just one of those shoot 'em ups where there's just a lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of action constantly going on in the game. And then we have Assassin's Creed 4, the Black Flag. I actually used to have a lot of these Assassin's Creed games, but I've never played any of them. So I actually kind of rid of a lot of this Assassin's Creed. Yep, that one is because I know it's an OG, it's a classic. So one of these days I'll play it. Next up, we have Battlefield 3. This is another game I have not played, but any kind of war, kind of shooter games, I usually really enjoy them. So I know at some point I will get around to playing that one. Beyond Two Souls. This was actually pretty cool. It has Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe, the actor and actress, well, now actor. And it's pretty cool. It has some really good motion capture on there. I honestly can't remember all of the story, but I know it's almost like a psychological thriller type game, I want to say. It's been some years since I played it, but I remember when I did play it, it was pretty enjoyable. We have Blazing Angels 2, Secret Missions of World War II. I really enjoyed Blazing Angels, the first one on the Wii, but I've never played this one. I really enjoyed the first one, so I know at some point I'll really enjoy playing that one as well. Next up, we have Call of Duty Black Ops. I have played that one. Played some zombies, all that good stuff. Many hours played into that. Mainly just play the campaign. That's what I'm all about, is mainly campaign. And that's what I played in that one. We have Call of Duty 2 Black Ops, or Call of Duty Black Ops 2 to follow up on that one. Another one I have beaten played. And then we have some more Call of Duty action. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is now a remake of that on PS4, PS5. Haven't played that one, just played this original. It was a great one. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, another classic Call of Duty game. I feel like the older Call of Duties are so much better than today's, honestly. I haven't bought a Call of Duty since, I think, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or something like that. It's been quite a while since I bought one. There's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, another great one. I just always like it if they at least have a campaign. I know a lot of these are just mainly focused on online play, and I'm not really been about that. I guess I've always just been kind of used to playing solo, and I've always loved just the storyline with games, so that's what again gets me into games there. Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Castlevania is one of my favorite game series, but this one, it just wasn't doing it for me. Something about the mechanics and just like the whip and all the weapons that you can use in this, I just didn't really like it. It seemed like the camera angles were just kind of throwing me off too. So I mean, it's okay. I love Castlevania, like I said, so I'll keep a hold of it. And then I also have Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. But since I didn't really like the first one, I have not played this one. So I'm like, is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be the same? And then it's just kind of like dragging the whole time. So eventually I get around to it. I haven't played it yet. I'm just kind of putting it on the back burner because I'm not super excited to. And then after that, we have Conan, which I don't think I played this one. I remember watching my dad play it, I think, years and years ago when it first came out. It looked pretty interesting, and from what I remember, the small pieces of it, it looked pretty fun. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll pick it up. I think I got it for like $5 at a used game store. So you know what? Why not? I'm going to pick it up. One of these days I'll get around to it. And I've always loved Conan when it comes to the movies and all the lore and stuff that is involved with him. So I know it'd be a pretty cool game to play at some point. Next up, we have Condemned 2 Bloodshot. So as you'll see as I'm going through these, all the horror games actually put red cases from the greatest hits on there. Just kind of thought that would be a cool way to stick out on the shelf. And I did have the first Condemned on Xbox because I wanted to have that on PlayStation. But I got rid of my Xbox, so I just absolutely never played it. So I have not played this one either, but just the storyline itself. Any kind of horror game, I'm always intrigued with it. And I know this got good reviews from a long time ago. So I'm excited to play that. Dante's Inferno, Divine Edition. This is one of my very favorite games on PlayStation 3. I've beaten this I don't know how many times. Just the storyline and the lore of this is just so intriguing to me. That's where Dante, he's part of like the Knights Crusade, if I remember correctly, and he gets killed, and he's sent to hell, and then he's battling through the 9 realms of hell, and he's trying to get out and basically redeem his soul. And it's just super interesting. I absolutely love this game. It's basically modeled after God of War, but it's like a holy edition. It is so cool. It is so much fun. If you have not played this game, 100% get it. You will not be disappointed, especially if you love the God of War games. Next up, we have The Darkness. I think I've mildly played this one. I remember just watching my dad play this when I was a kid, and I thought it was a really cool, interesting story. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but from the small bits I do remember, I was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. And I think I got this for like $3. Next up, we have the Darksiders 2. I've only played the first one whenever they did the remake or the remastered version on PS4. I've not played this one yet, but the very first one was a ton of fun, so I know I'll really enjoy this one too at some point, and I got that one on sale. Next up, we have Dead Rising 2 Off the Records. So I have beaten all of the Dead Risings besides the third one because that was strictly on Xbox, if I remember correctly. So I've beaten Dead Rising 2. What this one is just, I think it's a carbon copy, honestly, of Dead Rising 2, except this one just has Frank West in it. The other one had some other character. I can't remember his name. So it's basically just got the main character from the first and the fourth one, where he's just the main character again. I don't think the storyline is any different. I could be wrong. I absolutely love those games. It's just so much fun to just sit there and just beat up and kill all the zombies with anything you can think of in the mall. And then next up, we have Dead Space, the original. So this is one of my very favorite games, too, on PS3. I remember this scaring the crap out of me when I played it, especially because I'd play late at night with headphones, and you would just hear all this stuff constantly moving around, and the vents or something would just show up out of nowhere, and it would just absolutely scare the crap out of me because it would just pop up randomly and be those jump scares. So this is a great game. I know there's the remake on PS5. I kind of want to get that at some point, but I can't justify spending. I think it's still $69.99 currently. So if it went on a deep sale, then I might get it. Dead Space 2. Again, this is another one of my favorites. I'd almost say this is maybe better than the first one, just because I feel like they kind of cleaned up the mechanics and made the storyline just a little bit better. Some more action, some more gore in there. Again, a lot of fun. And then, of course, you have to close out the trilogy, Dead Space 3. It just, as many other people have said, I don't personally like this one as much as the other ones. I feel like they kind of let us down with it, honestly, but it's still a fun shooter. I just kind of feel like they got away with the gist of what the games are about, and it kind of went downhill. And that's why there hasn't been a brand new one since then. Next up, we have DJ Rapstar, which also has the microphone. One of my favorite games on PS3. I don't think a lot of people really talk about it, but I used to play this all the time as a kid. I always have my friends over. We'd just be rapping or have it at a birthday party. Anything you can think of. It's so much fun just to rap to. Notorious B.I.G., Lil Wayne, T.I. They used to have it where you could actually buy extra songs that are not within the game. The store is shut down. It's so long ago, but it was a lot of fun. Next up, we have Devil May Cry. I think this would technically be the fifth one. I've never played this one. It has a different character besides Dante. I love the series. The series is a lot of fun. Haven't played this one. I know for sure I will, just because I love the whole series in general. Next up, we have a Devil May Cry 4. This one was a ton of fun. Don't remember all of it because I beat it. At least I think I beat this one a long, long, long time ago when it first came out. So I need to go back and revisit it. I have the first 3 Devil May Cries on the HD remastered version on PS4. Alright, so next up we have Doom 3 BFG Edition. This one also has Doom and Doom 2 as well built within this one. And it's also 3D compatible if you still have the 3D TV, so that's pretty cool. I kind of liked it. I kind of was bored of it though, honestly. It was just kind of I guess I've never been a huge fan of like the old school type of Doom. Like the new Dooms that they put on PS4, I thought those were pretty fun. I guess the old school ones I kind of get bored of them, honestly. Next up, we have the Far Cry compilation. So this includes Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Never played this one. I think I picked this up for like less than $10 when I worked at Walmart about 10 years ago. So I've had that one in the collection that I have not played. Here's another one of my favorite series on the console, and that is Fear, First Encounter, Assault Recon. And this is one of those psychological horror games. And something about some girl, and she's basically controlling all these people, or she's killing them. I can't remember exactly. Ton of fun. I haven't played these in about 10 years probably. But I do have all of those. So we got Fear. We got Fear 2 Project Origin. And then we also have Fear 3 to end out that trilogy. Tons of fun. If you guys have not played this one and you love horror games and shooters, you're going to absolutely love this game. It's a great storyline. Next up, we have Ghostbusters, the video game. This was actually a lot of fun. I know a lot of games that are based off of movies don't do too well, but this was actually a lot of fun, and they actually did recently remaster this, I believe, for PS4, PS5. I think they had it on Nintendo Switch and Xbox, so you can actually get that for like $20, I think, if you wanted to get the updated version. Next up, we have God of War Ascension. Absolutely love God of War. It's probably my favorite series of game. Favorite game series of all time. I love Kratos and his storyline and all the lore that goes along with it, Greek mythology, you name it. Absolutely awesome. This is probably one of my least favorites out of the entire series of God of War Ascension, but still a really fun game. We have both of the original God of Wars in the God of War Collection, remaster in high definition, God of War and God of War 2. These two, and then probably the third one, are my absolute favorite out of all the series. And then we also have the PSP version. So we have God of War Origins Collection. And that has God of War Chains of Olympus and then Ghost of Sparta. So that one's a lot of fun there. Next up, we have Grand Theft Auto 4 and Episodes from Liberty City. So we got all those. Did beat that one a long time ago. That's a pretty good pack because it does have so much gameplay that you can play with that one, within that one. And then we have Grand Theft Auto 5. I got this when it first came out, and now they've had like 20 different editions since then. It's still going strong somehow. I'll be ready for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out just so there's something new. And then the absolute best in the entire series, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Platinum this game. Played the heck out of it. CJ, oh shit, here we go again. The absolute best of the whole series. Love that game. Put so many hours into it. Next up, we have Heavenly Sword, which I haven't played this one in a long time. I have beat it. It's kind of like God of War, except it's female edition. I don't remember all the story. Definitely not as good as God of War. It's all right. If you can find it for really cheap, you should definitely check it out. I think that you can usually find that for like $5. And then we have another really fun series here. So we have Hitman Absolution. So I would say all the ones on PS2 to PS3 are my favorite. The ones on PS4 are just not doing it for me. I don't know what it is. They've changed something about them. It seems like the storyline's not really there. It's just kind of online multiplayer and then just go out and do missions. So a Hitman HD trilogy has the very first 3 Hitmans. Or I should say, besides the first one, because the first one was PC only. So it has Hitman 2, Hitman Contracts, Hitman Blood Money. Those are probably those are my favorite 3 out of the entire series. A lot of fun. Next up, we have the Infamous Collection. So this has the first 2 games, and then it also has some extras. It's like Infamous Festival of Blood or something like that. I think it's on the back. Have not played these. These do look pretty fun, though, so I'll definitely check these out at some point as well. Next up, we have another collection, the Jak and Daxter Collection. So this has the first 3 Jak games. I love these games as a kid. Especially, I believe it was the third one that was kind of more dark and more action-oriented. A lot of fun. If you guys have not played this, definitely try to pick this up if you can. I think some of these collections are starting to go up in price from what I've seen, but it's been a while since I've looked. Next up, we have Clive Barker's Jericho. I have not played this game. But it looks very interesting. And once again, it's a shooter, horror game. I got to check it out, and I got it for pretty cheap. Next up, we have Kane and Lynch Dead Men. So this is going to be another co-op game if you so choose to. Had a lot of fun playing this with my dad whenever this first came out, probably about 15 years ago or something now. Tons and tons of fun. Definitely check this out if you can. So just one of those couch co-op games you can play with your friends. Following that up, there's Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days. This one wasn't as good, and I just remember it as being super short. It seemed like me and my dad beat that in like 3 or 4 hours. So we was like, what? This is it? I mean, it was still fun, but it wasn't as good as the other ones. We have another trilogy after that, Killzone Trilogy. So this has, or the collection, I should say, has Killzone, Killzone 2, and Killzone 3. I have not played these 3, I believe. I think I've only played the one on PS4, if I remember correctly. So I have not played that one. Will at some point. And then we have Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. I've not played this one, but the Lego games are always kind of fun, just to kind of sit back, relax, and beat people up and make them explode into small pieces of Lego. Then following that up, we have Lego Marvel Superheroes. So this is kind of basically the same thing, except just with all the Marvel superheroes. That would be a lot of fun. I just think they're kind of relaxing so that you don't have to think about it too much when you're playing it. Next up, we have a Lost Planet Extreme Condition. I beat this when it first came out. This is a pretty fun game. I don't remember it being like super, super great. I think it was okay. For some reason, I don't have Lost Planet. Yeah, I don't have Lost Planet 3, but I have Lost Planet 2. So I don't have the full trilogy. I'll have to get Lost Planet 3 at some point. I want to say that I have played all 3 of them, if I remember correctly, but it's definitely a fun shooter. You're out there in some extreme wintry conditions, and it seems like these monsters just kind of keep flying out of the ground, if I remember correctly. And then now we're getting into the M's. We have Medal of Honor, which also includes a Medal of Honor Frontline, which that's pretty cool too. So I have not played this one. I've always loved all the Medal of Honors on PS2. So any of the Medal of Honor lines, I just kind of picked them up as I went. And there's also Medal of Honor Warfighter. Not played this one as well, but I think I got it for like $3. I don't think they actually make those anymore. Next up, we also have Metal Gear Solid, the Legacy Collection. So Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear Solid, is my favorite game of all time. And this has all of them, basically, besides the newest one on PS4. But yeah, this is a great collection. I know they're coming out with the new HD collection, stuff like that for PS5. I honestly don't think it's worth it. I think just trying to get more new generation players to play it. I understand. And then we also have Metal Gear Rising Vengeance. Just with Raiden, I've not played this one, but I heard it's definitely more action-oriented, more of the being tactical and stealth. But I'll definitely check that one out as well. Next up, we have Max Payne 3. So I have actually played the first 2 Max Paynes, but I have not got around to playing this one. The storyline with Max is pretty cool and kind of sad, honestly, at the same time. So I've not played this one. I've also heard grumblings of a Max Payne 4 coming out. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. Following that one up, we have a Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. So I have beat the little campaign with this one. Got some trophies, played with some friends and stuff like that too. It's pretty cool. It's got Freddy Krueger in there as well. And we have Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. This is actually probably one of my least favorite Mortal Kombats, just because it wasn't the same, because it's only rated T. Like, if you're going to have a Mortal Kombat game, it's got to be rated M. I feel like nowadays it's just kind of like their MO. So it should have been rated M. It is still okay though. Next up, we have NCAA Football 09. So I have all of the NCAA football games ever made whenever it comes to disc form. So I've had tons and tons of hours playing these. So there's 09. We have NCAA Football 10. We have NCAA Football 11 with Tim Tebow on the front. We have NCAA Football 12. I want to say off the top of my head, that's Mark Ingram, I want to say. NCAA Football 13. That was pretty cool because it's Barry Sanders and Robert Griffin III, RG3. So that was pretty cool. And then the most coveted one of all that everyone's always looking for, NCAA Football 14. The very last one that came out. Hopefully until the summer when the newest one comes out, I'll be doing an unboxing, getting that one. That was a lot of fun. It's crazy. That game goes for like $90 to $100. Insane. Next up, we have Need for Speed Pursuit. Or Hot Pursuit. I've not played this one. This is actually the only Need for Speed game that I have. So I picked it up because I was like, I don't have any in my collection. Why not? I'll go ahead and grab it. And we have Plants vs. Zombies. Had a lot of fun with this one. My little brother used to play this on PC all the time when he was younger, and I actually got this about 3 or 4 years ago and played it, and it was pretty enjoyable actually. We have the Prince of Persia trilogy remastered in high definition. This has Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Prince of Persia: Warriors Within, and Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. So I think I have played all 3 of these years and years ago. I don't honestly remember much about them, just except that I enjoy them. Those are pretty fun. We have Ratchet and Clank collection. So this has 3 full games. This has Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, and Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. I've beaten all of these. I love the entire series. I think I've beaten all of them. I think there's so many of them that I've kind of lost track over time. It's a lot of fun to play that one. We have Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. I've also beaten this one, but I actually don't have all the Ratchet and Clank, so that's all the ones I currently have. Need to complete that collection at some point. Next up, we have Resident Evil 6 on PS3. This one is probably my least favorite out of the entire Resident Evil series. I don't know what the heck they were thinking with this game. It has, I want to say it's 3 or 4 different campaigns. I actually just finally beat this about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, because it took me years to get through it because I just didn't really like it. But I was determined to finally finish it, and I did. And then we have Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. This is probably also pretty close to one of my least favorites too. Doesn't have any of the main characters, if I remember correctly. It's just a whole bunch of different operatives trying to clean up the city, if I remember correct. It was okay. Next up, we have Resident Evil Revelations. This was actually pretty fun. I actually really enjoyed this one. Revelations and Revelations 2. Next up, we have Resistance Fall of Man. That was, I think, one of the original PS3 games. This was actually pretty fun. I want to say it was like World War II or something like that, but it's got the Chimera. They're like hybrid humans or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happens to them. There's Resistance 2 as well. I think I played that one too. I know for sure I have not played Resistance 3. I know for sure I have not played that one. But they kind of just keep getting better. It seems like the gameplay looks smoother. Graphics look a little bit better from the screenshots I've seen. And then here is kind of more of a rarity, I feel like, is Saw. I love the Saw series. So I had to get the Saw games, and I actually really enjoyed this. A lot of people crap on these for sure. But I think this one was definitely the better out of the 2. There's also a sequel, which I'll show you guys as well. I just think they made Billy the Puppet look a little goofy. And some of the gameplay was a little choppy from what I remember. But I absolutely love the storyline, though. That was pretty cool. So here is Saw 2, Flesh and Blood. This one is more one of the rarer games you can get on PS3. And it kind of follows in the same steps of the first one, except the gameplay is not nearly as good. Following that up, we have Silent Hill HD Collection. This has Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. So that's pretty cool. I wish it would have had Silent Hill, the very first one. I don't know why they do some of these collections without the first one. It makes no sense, but I have not played those before. And then we have Silent Hill Downpour. I think I did play and beat this one a long time ago. All the Silent Hills that I have played, they're pretty fun, except for the one on PS Vita. That one's not that great. And here is Silent Hill Homecoming. I absolutely enjoyed this. I remember this being one of my very favorite Silent Hills to ever play. Was this game for sure. And then we have the Sly collection. So Sly 1 through 3. Love these games as a kid. I think I've platinumed all 3 of them. I could be wrong. But those are just a ton of fun to play. And your kids will also like them too if you need a new game for your kid. There's also Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. So this is the 4th one. I've never played this one. I need to get around to playing it just because, like I said, I platinumed all the other 3. And that was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't a super long time ago. So I need to bust this out and play it because I never played it before and I love the series. Next up, we have Sonic Generations. So this one was actually pretty fun. I'm not honestly much of a Sonic fan. So this was pretty cool. My roommate in college had this and he was playing it. And then he never completed all the trophies. I always have to get 20% trophies on games I play. And he had that one. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get it. Let me get my 20% trophies. And it was actually pretty fun. And next up, we have Splinter Cell Trilogy. So this has Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I think I've only played a little bit of the very first one, but that is it. So I need to check these out. I heard they're actually going to be remaking the very first one for PS4, PS5 from what I've seen online. And then we have Terminator Salvation. A lot of people hate on this game too, understandably so. It's an okay game. Easy platinum if you just want to collect some trophies on it. Terminator 2 is my favorite movie of all time, so anything Terminator related, I usually go ahead and pick it up just to check it out. Next up, we have Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12, the Masters. I used to love playing the PGA Tour games. I just think golf in general is actually a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy the games too, so I'll always keep a copy of PGA Tour just in case I ever feel like playing some golf. That's always a fun one. Next up, we have Tomb Raider. That one's a lot of fun. Haven't played that one in quite a while, but I remember beating it. It's been some time now. And then next up, we have the Tomb Raider trilogy. So this has Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Anniversary, and Tomb Raider Underworld. All three of these games are absolutely a joy to play as well. The Tomb Raider series in general, I feel like is pretty underrated, especially nowadays. I feel like a lot of people have gotten all the watered-down PS2 versions, and it just kind of ruined the name of it. So this one is a lot of fun. Definitely pick that up if you can. And then we have Turok on PS3. So Turok on PS3, that one's a lot of fun too. I used to really enjoy the Turok on PS2. That was the one I used to always play all the time. So this one is a lot of fun to check out if you have not checked it out before. And then last but not least, we have X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. So this is actually my latest PS3 game to actually pick up. I got this one for about $40 on Whatnot, I think, 40 or 50. I love Wolverine. He's my favorite Marvel character, so I had to come and check this out because it's also rated M. This is the only rated M version I believe you can get of it is on PS3. Could be wrong. Could also be on Xbox. This game is a lot of fun. I think I'm only about a quarter of the way into the game. Need to finish it sometime soon. But yeah, it's definitely a fun game. And a lot of blood and guts. And of course, Wolverine action. So alright guys, that is all the games I have. I believe I have 92 total. Not sure if you can see all those there. But there's all of them, guys. So definitely leave me a comment down below on what your favorite game is out of the series. What's your favorite game on the PS3? And make sure to leave a like if you did like this video. Hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.